Today, we go below as a diver discovers a new business, hiding in murky water. Meet Ed the diver. People are passionate about outdoor equipment.
Get this. Americans spend $30 billion a year on gear.
But no one ever really sees how their stuff gets made.
That's where we come in.
Made for the Outdoors. Made for the Outdoors is presented by Warner's Dock. Landscape design might never be Ed Bieber's sweet spot.
It's just junk.
Ed admits he hoards.
But you never know what you're gonna find. You know, nice propeller you can sell for, I don't know, $1.
But don't for a moment believe any of this is Ed's problem.
Muffler.
He wants to be the solution.
I'm just a guy trying to work hard and make an impact in this world, show kindness to people. Oh man, so much junk. 1, 2, 3.
All this clutter,
This was a motorbike.
a consequence of Ed's day job. A gig where Ed Bieber
Anchors away.
becomes Ed the diver. Ed gears up to work Wisconsin's Menominee River. Seems everyone these days knows Ed.
Well, he's just full-time, full throttle. He definitely is putting us on the map.
See, Ed operates a small dive recovery business.
People call me when they drop something important in the water and I can go grab it for them. I do find a lot of stuff, Apple Watches, cell phones, expensive fishing rods and reels.
But here's the thing. The underwater search for a lost object led to discovery of plenty of others.
There's a lot of different opportunities between lead, lures, bottles.
Lots and lots and lots of literally everything.
You find a lot of random stuff, guns, safes, hard drives, sandbags that people keep snagging on, trash, glass, bottles, aluminum.
Ed documents every dive on underwater cameras. He had an idea. A social experiment of sorts.
I'd start putting together all my videos for my GoPro.
Let's go do some cleanup.
And posted all the videos online.
All I had was Facebook before. Then my kids wanted to go on TikTok, wanted to go on Instagram, Snapchat, all this stuff. I always told them no, but then Dad started doing it. Yeah, it's growing and people love what they're seeing underwater, the cleanup efforts I'm doing, and it's just a lot of work to maintain, but it's awesome.
People all over the world now watch Ed's underwater work.
Ed's in there, we see the surface, but you always wonder what's below the surface. Some of it you like to see, and some of it you're like, wow, humankind has not been so kind.
Which takes this tale back to Ed's backyard.
All right, so this is a homemade anchor, looks like, because I've never seen like this in my life.
And all that stuff.
Well, just got to find a spot to add it with the anchors here.
Everything here recovered by Ed. What he cannot salvage or resell
Get rid of these tires.
goes away.
So my buddy Dave Behrens, he's a fellow diver, actually donated this to me to help me clean up all the stuff that I've been finding in the waterways. So thank you, Dave. Check him out, Dave's Dumpsters, Marinette, Menominee area. Pretty nice guy, helping me out, appreciate it.
But the real treasure of Ed's trash tale hides here.
I can't believe I missed this. What? What is he doing over here?
Turns out the lure of diving would lead Ed to a new life opportunity. That story next.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Warner's Dock, Aquarius Home Services, Old Dutch quality snacks since 1934, Winnebago Industries, be great outdoors, and by Keystone Light. Here's to living smooth. Celebrate responsibly.
Most folks know Marinette as a Lake Michigan port town. These days, people know local Ed Bieber.
You gonna do some diving today?
Yeah, I'm gonna head down to the Menominee River and check out the mysteries.
He defines clean cut.
He's always had a good reputation, but now people think that it's pretty cool that he's cleaning up the rivers and finding all of this stuff.
Ed, the guy with the nickname.
Ed the Diver, and he's an internet sensation now.
Working on it. Yeah.
See, Ed made a big splash diving into a new career. Down there.
Just swimming next to 5-6 foot sturgeon. You can pet them, you can touch them, whatever. Visibility is about 2.5, 3 feet. A lot of fish. There's fishing line down there, lures, random like metal things. Got a lot of trash out, line, lures, bottles, random stuff, a couple tires. Good day.
Thing is, Wisconsin's river trash
Well, this is a huge mess.
became Ed's treasure.
They call me Trash Man Ed. Here's that whopper plopper I found. So on those logging cribs, there's a lot of fishing line. There's a lot of lures stuck on those. Inside is rotted out, but there's still a lot of good lures in here. This is a nice lure, and it looks like it was lost recently. The hooks are not even rusted at all.
These baits lured Ed into a new proposition that kicks off on his kitchen table.
Nice big pile of lures. Musky lures are definitely my favorite ones to find because they're so big.
Ed recycles fishing baits.
Oh, it's a nice one. Like a chatterbait kind of. It's definitely worth the time to find these, cut them apart, clean them, make them look new again, then resell them.
First step, he untangles and cuts lures from all the line.
By myself, this would take about 4 hours.
Once apart,
So I'm gonna get this a little warm.
each lure takes a bath in the kitchen sink.
This one really isn't too dirty. A little bit of grime over here. So I do a light scrubbing with this brush. Don't want to wreck the finish.
Ed hand scrubs every single bait.
Patience is definitely part of the game. It looks like that right now. Then I'll take this pad and it'll whiten it up a little more. Looks almost new.
Just like cleaning potatoes.
How much you cost per hour?
7 husky jerks, 3 clacking wraps.
No clacking wraps. Those are mine.
That is amazing how well that works. The baits get new bling too.
I'll take my side cutters, cut all the rusty hooks off. Like this one's got the dull hooks and it's starting to rust, so I'll cut this off, cut the other ones off, and then put 3 new hooks on there. So you don't want to walk around barefoot in my house.
Old hooks fill old ice cream buckets. Just one indication of how much Ed likes ice cream, and also just how big his lost bait business became.
There we go. Brand new hooks on it.
Time to let those baits dry. Coming up, a visit to Ed's living room. Home space decorated just a little bit differently.
This was my living room, but I am in here a lot.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Star Bank. Old Dutch, quality snacks since 1934. Carlos Creek Winery and 22 North Bend Brewing. Finishing Trades Institute of the Upper Midwest. And by Guy Metals.
Ed Beaver never knew scuba could have such an impact on his home life.
This was my living room.
The fishing baits he recovers and recycles end up just hanging out.
Hang them out on the wall, and I usually have more in here. I've been selling some here and there, and usually by this time of year, it's pretty full. Running low on those. This is where I put all my lures when I'm done cleaning them, organizing them, put new hooks on them, hang them out on the wall. I've got a lot of lures that maybe they have a crack in them or something's wrong with them, so I use them as decoration. So about half of those are bad, half are good.
The fact that you can go out and just dive in random places and find that many of the same bait in each color and size,
yeah,
it's unbelievable. Classic baits, used baits, and it's just overwhelming.
Yes. I don't get to fish anymore. Too busy. If I have time to fish, I have time to clean up the rivers, grab all the lures.
Ed's collection caught people's attention.
All over the world, they're begging for them.
So, Ed the Diver now moonlights as Ed the Salesman.
By selling the lures, it helps me keep going, pay my bills. Go to edthediver.com. We got a lot of rip and wraps, blade baits, stick baits, customs over here that are on the website right now. A lot of lures on there. So I make pre-assembled tackle trays. These are size 7 rip and wraps. These are size 6 and size 5 rip and wraps. I've got just different trays with certain kinds in there. I take pictures of them all, put them on my website.
Where are you shipping this stuff?
All over the U.S. I've got requests to ship across the world, but it's kind of a headache. So I just ship all around the U.S. I think I've got about half the states so far that I ship to. Everywhere I go now, I've got little kids coming up to me. Are you Ed the Diver? I've got middle-aged guys my age. Are you Ed the Diver? And I've got 70, 75-year-old people come up, giving me hugs and say, we love what you're doing for waterways. Thank you so much. It's just a really good feeling to have, and it's nice to know that I'm having an impact.
An impact far beyond fishing baits.
So this is a Model 94 Winchester lever action 30-30. It was wrapped really tight in black plastic and then electrical tape about every ½ inch. Called the sheriff's department. Here's the evidence tag. They investigated it, looked up the numbers and stuff on it. They couldn't find any crime committed with it or anything, or the owner, so they gave it back to me.
Just one of 10,000 tales. Every one of these finds has its own history. And while Ed may never know, that's okay. He's using each lost object to create his own story. This is completely overwhelming.
It's my life.
It's unbelievable.
It is.
You have a life that nobody else has. What is this all gonna lead to?
End game. I have no idea. I'm just enjoying life. I'm enjoying cleaning up the waterways. Maybe I'm starting a new trend and other people want to do it to help clean up and just find the adventure underwater. It's awesome, the response that I'm getting.
So I scar my hammer all up to give it a texture.
Up next, we head into the garage.
Wake up in the middle of the night and my hand will go like this. Pop the fingers open. This must be the reason.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Star Bank. Old Dutch quality snacks since 1934. And by Guy Metals.
The sound of expression. The art of the outdoors. Best expressed in an otherwise quiet cabin in the woods.
The earplugs working? I started off making knives. I keep thinking about what else can I do, what else can I do? So I got a pattern of a fish and I hammered one out.
Jim Boughton hammers away his days working on copper.
I've done so much soldering and handling and maneuvering with copper. Yeah, I think it kind of got into my DNA a little bit there.
The result of a lifetime in the plumbing trade. Retirement led to a humble workshop.
When I first started doing this stuff, I didn't have any copper other than tubular copper. I was splitting it, hammering it open. I do a lot of shopping around. If you go buy just new copper, I'd have to get $1,000 a piece for my fish in order to pay for it.
Jim's art starts with a photo.
Oh, I got shelves and shelves of pictures. I started, I don't know, 10 years ago on fish. You get the copper laid out, draw around the pattern, and cut it out. But as you can see, this is pretty easy cutting. And hammer it. Anything that doesn't look like a fish, you move. You get it out of the way. See, and then that's all you got left is what looks like a fish. Once I know the pattern, then I'm hammering on the fish and I can see what needs a little bit more doctoring, a little bit more bending, or a little bit more straightening.
Jim carefully picks and saves all his scraps.
One of the reasons why all those little tiny pieces I put in there, sometimes I'm out here on my bare feet or my wife comes through in her bare feet.
Now he drills the eye and grabs a favorite hammer.
Start on the fins. I'm putting some pattern into the fins. A real live fish has similar lines in the fins that I'm doing now. So I scar my hammer all up to give it a texture. Wake up in the middle of the night and my hand will go like this. I gotta pop the fingers open. This must be the reason. You know? See the hammer marks? Can't see as much on this side. You turn it over, you got the shiny. But the shiny is good.
He finishes with the details. First fish lips.
Little lipstick.
Then fins.
It's repetition, repetition, repetition. I couldn't tell you how many fish I've made. I mean, it's just beyond, I have no idea. But this is camo for bow hunting. I just use it for this. It gives it just a little bit of color. It's not real apparent. It's kind of subtle.
A coat of protection, and this fish is ready to swim. Gems hang out in the fanciest of Lake Superior galleries.
Metalwork is very difficult. The time and the materials that you need to use, being able to manipulate metal in that way, definitely is an art.
You know the old saying that beauty is in the eye of the beholder? So is ugly. So some people like it, some people don't.
Humble words from an artist whose copper fish became precious metals.
Yeah, he's just very talented.